Now, a lot of people will know that I've dedicated decades of my life, now probably close to 40 years, to getting people out in the bush hunting, through guided hunting trips and through the Ridge Group Ballot, Wild Country and Ridge Group Ballot, our Glenfiddich project, and quite a few other systems that we've had running. Hundreds of people now have taken out to take their first deer, and it's something that's the biggest trophy of my life. The last few years I've also been trying to put up clips on the dog trapping to try and help some of the guys and gals that are getting into it now, just share some of my tips and techniques, and it's really good. It's really good to see people that are there on both sides of it, the trapping and the hunting, that are listening. All I've ever asked is, if you're going to do it right. You know, let's do it right. Let's have something we can be proud of. Let's have an industry. Now, a lot of people have listened, which is fantastic, but we've still got the knuckleheads out there that just seem to think that they can get away with anything, and they will just bullshit their way through. Now, the people who are listening, you'll get this. The ones that aren't listening, they'll just stick more knives in my back and whatever, we'll go for it. But who I have to address with this clip are the landowners, because up here, righto, nearly 100% of our hunting has got to be done on private freehold and leasehold land of landowners, and same for the trapping. So the landowners, if you're listening out there, please take note of this. This season there'll be a lot of people come to you and say, listen, we've got $20 million public liability that covers you, the landowner. Let us on your property, either to hunt or to trap. A lot of these people are ignorant of the details, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them know that they're only telling you this much of the truth, right? And people can check this up if you want. I'm no Rhodes Scholar, I'm no legal eagle, but I certainly have listened to close to half a dozen different lawyers go right through this with me over the last couple of years, plus people from Safe Works Queensland. And they've been drumming into me, like knocking me on the head with a hammer, saying, Clark, there is a national code now for workplace health and safety right across the country. And every rural property is seen as a business, okay? So if anybody gets injured, if anybody gets killed on a rural property anywhere in Australia, Workplace Health and Safety, the department for each state, will investigate. There's no ifs, buts or maybe. There's no, oh look mate, I've got insurance, don't worry about it, don't come on. That's not going to cut it. They will come in and they will investigate, and they'll be looking to see whether you've got logbooks for the vehicles that they were using, whether you've got a maintenance sheet for them, whether you've employed safe work practices, whether the people have been wearing PPE, all these things they'll be looking at. So let's just look at it, ladies and gentlemen, landowners there. Let's say a tragedy happens. We've got somebody that's come onto your place trapping or hunting, and they've had a young kid with them, say, and they've rolled over a buggy, one of your buggies, and the child is dead. Or even worse still, the child is severely incapacitated and going to need lifelong care, right? Workplace Health and Safety will investigate. And if you haven't enforced helmets or seat belts and you've given them a shoddy vehicle that's a great farm vehicle but something that really needs some maintenance, hundreds of different things they'll look at. And if you're found negligent, okay, you could be facing a huge fine or even a jail term on that. Not my rules, I'm not making this up. If you don't believe us, go and check with Workplace Health and Safety, okay? Ring your lawyer and just see. Now, your insurance will cover you, or public liability will cover you for most things, but in your policy, please read it. Read your policy, because most of them say that they will cover you for negligence as long as you're within the guidelines, within the legislation pertaining to what they were doing with workplace health and safety. Okay, so the hunters that are saying that they have got $20 million public liability, or the young trapper that's coming there says he's got that public liability, that will cover him in some circumstances for what he or she may do while they're on your property to harm you. Okay, now anybody that's looked at some of the court cases that have been going on around the country, one in particular which involved quite a number of stock animals that were shot by hunters, that's a pretty topical one, that one there. I think every landowner is talking about it. Okay, the insurance hasn't worked in that circumstance. The landowner, from what I've been told, is having to take civil action to try and get compensation back for all the animals that were killed by somebody that was people who were, in my view, grossly negligent, right? So their public liability is good, but it won't cover everything. If somebody is injured, if that person with the $20 million public liability is now injured, or somebody with them was injured or killed, that insurance will actually assist them, if you're found negligent, assist them to take action against you for compensation, right? And if you haven't been following your workplace health and safety, right, you could be in a mess of hurt. So what I'm trying to say is, don't take people on face value. Now, there'll be hunters out there who'll hate my guts for saying this, because they want this under the radar. They want to be able to pursue you, the landowner, if somebody gets seriously hurt. They don't want you protected. If they're there and one of their kids or one of their mates is going to be in the wheelchair for the rest of his life, they want to be able to take you and your insurance company to court and get as much as they possibly can back for that person's care. And that's understandable, totally understandable. But you as the landowners, if you've tried to do everything right and you've just been working, as you've always done, then suddenly you find yourself in a courtroom and you're facing the loss of your property, I think you should give it a very serious look right now. Okay, now we're trying to start our 2024 Wild Country and Ridge Group Red Deer Ballot. We've done 25 of them previously. We're trying to run this one, and what we're finding is that we can't run it the way that we always have. So we've had to go through a massive change. But we have a system in place, and anybody interested, go to the Ridge website. A lot of the information is there. Look at our Patreon site and the links on the Ridge website for clips that detail this, or contact us through that website if you want. Okay, contact the Ridge Group. All I'm saying is now, hunters and trappers, do the right thing. Explain to the landowners for sure that you've got $20 million public liability, but also say to those landowners, please check that you have got everything in order for workplace health and safety. Okay? Look after your landowners. You have a duty of care to those landowners, just as the landowner has a duty of care to you. What I'm saying is, let's do it the right way. Let's cut down on the racing around and shylarking around on quad bikes and in UTVs. Let's be a bit more careful, please. Be more careful with your firearms. Please don't go running around with a loaded firearm or racing around the vehicle and shooting off a vehicle. Okay? Please be careful. Be careful going through fences. Be careful with what you shoot at. Okay? Don't drink and shoot. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and race around in a UTV vehicle. Okay? I'm not trying to be a wowser. I'm just saying, for heaven's sake, please be careful. Let's cut down the number of injuries and severe accidents that are happening. let's cut it right down. Let's make sure the landowner is doing the right thing, and let's make sure we are doing the right thing. Then if something happens, I'm sure that the insurance companies will see that everybody's tried their hardest, and if it was an act of God, if it was something that could not be helped, then I'm sure that those insurance companies will stand and do the right thing as well. Okay? Because we need all parties looked after here for this to be an industry. Anyway, get out there, have some fun, but please use your head and do the right thing.